So, Jesus said, she healed herself. When he, in Matthew 9, chapter 29, when he goes and gives new light to the eyes of the blind man, at the end he says, according to your faith, let it be done. So when we go to see him as our doctor, he's going to say, you ready? You believe it? You know it? It's here. And we're not looking for the healing of the body. Chico Xavier never prayed for the healing of the body. Neither Divaldo or others. That's not the goal. If it happens, it's God's will, but that's not going to block me from living my life to the fullest. Look at Chico Xavier. Thank God he was not as handsome as many men, because it taught us that you don't need to. He didn't have degrees, so some people say, no, Vanessa, maybe I need a PhD to teach Spiritism. No, you don't. It's so mistaken. And, oh, maybe I need connections. He didn't have connections. Much like Jesus, quote unquote, we know. We know. He had all the ultimate connections. But that's not how we really get to the goal of our lives. It's about us and God. And because we're trading that with illusions, we suffer. So if we're suffering, we need to go back and see which type of pain is this. Is it the tantrum pain, the one in which we are creating for our own selves because we're stubborn? And believe it or not, I have a colleague who told me, Vanessa, I'm going mad because I gave an iPad to my 2-year-old and now every day I come home, if she doesn't have a new app, she goes mad. And I said, oh my God, oh my God. Why? So we are suffering because we created the suffering. And then we cannot look at that child and say, who are you in my life? No, I am spoiling that child. And she said, no, but she's a teenager. I said, no, she's 2. 2. You are pushing her to that. Andrea Lewis says, in Mechanisms of Mediumship, majority of the children on the earth are mediums of the parents. He uses that word, mediums. Only a minority, because they are superior, they don't get the imprinting of the parents to make them be like the parents. So we cannot be surprised, like, I can't believe, but if we go back, we're going to see we taught them to be that way. Now, no wonder we need to suffer with them, because we need to fix it here first and then there. So Jesus then finally, in John 5:14, when he goes and heals the man who was a paralytic, then he wraps up the final message for us of this healing. We want to be healed, but there is a but. He says, you're well again, but stop sinning, or something worse may happen to you. What is sinning here? Missing the mark. Missing the mark. Making poor choices. Some people go make gastric bypass surgery and then they become alcoholic. You're trading one addiction to the other because there's no inner healing. It's very common. So some people stop smoking and they fall into depression. It's not only physiological. They didn't cure the root of the problem. We didn't stop making poor choices in our minds, in our hearts. So we need to strive to be happy, to find that harmony, that connection with God, and never lose it again. Because when we go see in mechanisms of mediumship, when André Luiz says, you know, all that Jesus did was to push us to achieve this health by aligning our thoughts. Why is it so important? Because our thought is a byproduct that we co-created on top of God's thought, says André Luiz. That's why when we have bad thoughts, we suffer. Because we are using the clay of God. And instead of creating a beautiful rose like this, we create a gun. We're never going to be happy with a gun, but with a rose, we will. So it begins here. Allowing God, okay, let it flow. Oh, but you're going to talk to that person who said bad things about you? Yes, I will. Really? Yes, I will. Because that's what God wants me to do. How do I know? Of course, it makes so much sense. He created us to get along, not to be apart. Of course, for everything there's a time and a place. But he felt the time has come, go for it. That's why many people come, and I say this because we're amongst friends, many people may look at us at the Spirit Start About, and the most comment we get is like, really? You and Daniel, you divorced and you're still working together and you're friends? Yeah, it was tough at the beginning, but you know, we got it. Do you think God wants people that really, for some reason, cannot live together, be enemies? Or that they stay together for the eternity? No, you have had spouses in the past, and are you still married to them? No, the goal is not to stay married to that person. Of course, in one life we do our best, but sometimes it's better to be friends, brothers and sisters, helping one another than otherwise, because some people, when they change the hat, they don't know how to behave the same way. How is that possible? This is the explanation. This is the way it is possible. Yes, it's possible to conquer that level. It is possible. Because every illness begins